crash and the thunder's roar.
Human stand.
Heart of the core.
Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to talk about this 2000X cartoon collection version in Origins. And basically it's an Origins He-Man figure that's based on the 2000X cartoon. Now it's kind of strange as we've already gotten a 2000X He-Man from Origins before, right here, but this one is the cartoon collection version, not the action figure version. So keep that in mind. So before we jump into this figure and tear it open, let's go ahead and look at some figures from the past. So here is our 2000X He-Man figure that came out in 2002, and the figures ran for 2002 to 2003. And he was kind of an interesting figure in that he had very little articulation. Basically, we had shoulder, waist, and leg movement, no knee, no elbow, and of course his head would turn. He had the power punch feature like the original 80s figures. And he had these really large, oversized weapons. Giant battle axe, giant sword, big weapons. Now, when they first released him, he came with the Iron Cross armor, which then was later changed to what we refer to as the Asterix armor. So you can see the difference in the armor styles. So, where am I going with this? Oh, so the 2-ups, these figures looked amazing, but shrunk down. I don't know what happened, but one thing used to always bother me about this figure is the hunchback. I'm not sure why he had this hunchback. It was just so the battle axe wouldn't hit him in the back of the head while he was walking with it, you know, in his holster in the back there. But for some reason, he had kind of a strange hunchback going on. And of course, he came with his trusty Battle Cat, which this line had a whole lot of action features, from missiles that could shoot to spring waist to buttons you'd push to activate the guy's different features they had. All right, so in Origins, we got our own 2000X He-Man. We got two versions of him, one that was in a 4-pack and one that came in a single pack. And you can see he has his sword, his shield, and his battle axe as well. And he's sporting the 2000X style hair and kind of that anime type look. And so this one here is brand new, and it's supposed to be more cartoon aesthetic, if you will, or more cartoon accurate. But we'll open him up, we'll take a look and see how he looks, and we'll compare it to this drawing right here, which is based on the 2000X cartoon made by Emiliano. All right, let's go ahead and open this guy up. So on the back of the box, we got some really cool graphics on here, including the Sorceress, which I really hope they give us in... Actually, I hope they give us to us in Masterverse. That'd really be awesome. But then you can see we got other figures in the line. Stratos, Triclops. It's funny. A scene on the beginning. The first episode of Volume 1 is the beginning. All right, let's go ahead. Fit power sword into hand. That's not a lot of directions they have there. Okay, let's open this guy up and let's see what we got inside here. First, we got our directions. Maybe a little bit more than we got on our back of our box directions. And it shows that his head, his arms, his waist, shows his legs too are removable, and his boots. Interesting. And his hands. So I wonder, did they make this figure a little bit different? Are the legs actually removable on this? He does come with a sword. And the sword is different than the one we got with the other release. I just figured they would give us the exact same sword again. How crazy is that? It's a little longer, a little less detailed, a lot larger right here, which is kind of strange looking. It does not rotate like it did in the cartoon, and the handle is huge. All right, let me get rid of some of this garbage on my table. No battle axe. I guess he didn't really have a battle axe in the cartoon, so I guess that makes sense. No shield either. Now, we did see his shield in the Brood of Dragons cartoon, where he was fighting the dragons and he pulled his shield out in order to block the fire. But no shield. Ugh. Come on off there. There we go. All right, there he is. He-Man himself. Now, he's got some pretty long wrists. That's really kind of strange looking. But I guess it's so he can have good articulation. Let's put his sword in his hand. It's funny. Ask my wife. Nothing bugs me more when someone's wearing their wristwatch too high on their wrist, or a woman's wearing a bracelet too high on their wrist. Just drives me crazy. And sure enough, this figure has it mislocated by having it too high up on his wrist there. It's just so weird looking. I know the Linda Carter Wonder Woman season 2, she wore her bracelets too high up on the wrist. It's like, no. I think it probably hit her bone right here on her wrist, so she had to wear them higher up. All right, so let's talk about articulation. So we have boot articulation, or ankle articulation, boot cut, single jointed knees. This part moves, and sure enough, that is removable. Look at that. You can now remove these legs. So one more removable piece, similar to that of Too Bad. That's kind of cool. And then his waist turns. He's got shoulder movement. And his elbow moves. Wow, that's some really good movement in that elbow for a single joint. That's improvement. And then the wrist on this side goes up and down, and this side goes back and forth. But it's just so strange. On this side, they gave it such a long throw from the wrist, the hand to the bracer. This side's not so bad. It's almost normal like it should be. But that's going to drive me crazy, especially since this is not movable. They should have made this a separate part so you can slide it off and on. But they... it is one piece and just painted. Bummer, bummer. Then he has his armor. Oh, his head moves too. Then he has his armor, and it's like his armor is removable without destroying the figure. So that's cool. All right. So let's go ahead and compare him to the last Origins version we got. First of all, I got all new legs, and not the standard animated legs. These are brand new for 2000X. They are a little bit smaller build. You can see that He-Man's not quite as muscular in the 2000X version. A little bit different there. Which is what gives us that extra throw for that elbow. It's so weird. See how far you can bend that? This one here. Ugh, that's it. Beyond 90 degrees, barely 90 degrees. All right. The boots, of course, are different because they're more cartoony style. These actually look like the boots we see on Masterverse quite often for a lot. Oops, he's rolling off the table. Duck and roll, or tuck and roll. Oh, weird. His loincloth. It's just a belt over the top. Okay, we got to pull this apart and take a look. Oh, look at that. He's got little brown shorts. Or you can have this. That's so strange. All right, let's see if we can do some switching and swapping. Are they the same size? They are. You can give He-Man some beefy legs that are shorter if you want. We'll just fit over the top of that. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but it does. Do-do-do. Okay, switching back. See, look at the legs difference. You can see the height difference just in the legs. That's so weird. So he's a much taller figure because the legs are taller. Yeah, he's quite a bit taller. All right, let's go and pull out the original 2000X. He's about comparable height to the original 2000X He-Man toy, which means he could probably fit on Battle Cat without too much effort. Let's give it a shot and see. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. Da-da-da-da-da. I am digging that. That is cool. Now, I wonder if they're going to give us a 2000X Battle Cat with this particular line. We shall have to wait and see. But if not, you can just go and get the regular 2000X Battle Cat and just throw them right on there. This armor always slips off Battle Cat. They have this weird little thing where it plugs into a hole in his belly. And his things always fall off. And like I mentioned, they gave us lots of cool action features. So we got missiles. We can load up in here. Take our 2000X He-Man. Stick them on there. Ho! And now we can shoot. Remember how these things shoot. There we go. This one. There we go. Ba-ching! Alright. Now, for those that know me well and have seen my videos, of course I made a 2000X version for classics. Here he is with his Battle Cat. Bah, 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 bah. Which, of course, I love this figure, how he came out. So cool. But I know, my wife always tells me, don't groove on your own stuff, but I just love how this figure came out. I like my custom even better than the original 2000X release we got. More articulation, no crazy hunchback. And now that he has his Battle Cat too. Perfect. Alright. I'll stop grooving on him. I'll move him back to the corner. Alright, so here's what I want to know from you guys. I want to know, did you get the 2000X He-Man? If so, how many? Just one? A whole bunch? Did you get the whole series of figures? Or just this one figure? And are you happy with how close he matches the cartoon? I mean, he's pretty close. He's got the large emblem. He's got the red squares. He's got the little bag hanging. Granted, the bag should probably be a little bit different color red. Just slightly. He's got the fur on the boots all swooshing around. You just line them right up just like that. Oh, of course he has his hand in his... Oh, this is a mirror image. You can see because it has this over here and this one over here. How weird that he drew it like a mirror image. Because his name's signed correctly. See? He's got his name signed, not mirrored. Amazing drawing, though. Alright, so there you go. There's a 2000X He-Man. Mine's kind of cross-eyed looking. Cool, cool. I wish they would have made a little more effort on the sword. A couple more colors. Even the cartoon has more colors. And One thing we saw in the cartoon is that twist feature of the sword in order to channel the power. And they could have done that. They've done it before. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal. So that's the only gripe I have. Lack of color in the sword and no twist feature. If they would have done that, I think it would have nailed it. Everything else is really good. The way the elbows move is good. The cool piece that slides over is good. The removal of the armor, good call. The extra tallness, I like it. The fur on the boots, everything is good. I think the face on this is way better than the face on this. All right. Well, that is all that I have. So, that's it. So until next time, like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it.
Blades clash and the thunders roar.
Human stand.